Any opposition?
No.
Okay. Mr. Fonzo, Williams will stand. Welcome.
Thank
And we welcome you to our family.
Yes, ma'am.
And I guess you're our gain and Waynesboro's loss. Mr. Barnes.
I don't want to put the new chief on the spot, but I'd like to know when he's going to start.
Whatever the board's pleasure is.
Okay, you can start tomorrow.
How about March 1?
It works for me.
That works for
Well, we'll negotiate the start
I
date.
don't have anything in mind. I just wanted to know when you're going to start. That's all. 'Cause I think the staff needs to know so you can start talking with them. That was my only reason.
Mr. Barnes and members of the board will get with staff and establish a start date with Mr. Williams. We'll do that.
You're the new chief now.
Let's give him a warm welcome.
My background is essentially started with Augusta Police back in 1990. Served there as an investigator for a number of years. I went to Richmond County after consolidation. Have a history of teaching and instruction with the police academy. Been an investigator with the district attorney. Spent an extensive amount of time in court. I've worked with delinquent children, and I have a passion for kids. My last job has been chief of police at Waynesboro. Look forward to joining Richmond County and working and making our schools safe and conducive to learning, taking care of our children, being a mentor and an advisor to them. Looking forward to joining the police department and helping to continue those things that have worked for them. And looking forward to being proactive in the school system. Where not only will we respond to incidences of violence, we're going to do things to prevent them. So that's what we know so far.
In the wake of Newtown massacre in December, do you have some kind of vision for this particular area? How to protect the schools?
We certainly want to team up with those persons who are responsible for advocating for our children. We're going to look at proactive ways to keep them safe. We're going to look at volunteer groups to help in whatever appropriate way is possible to man our schools to make sure we're safe. We're going to do some target hardening and make it more difficult to penetrate our schools. And we're going to make sure that there are proper emergency plans in place, that everyone knows those plans and are prepared for anything that may happen.
Definitely no guns for students or administrators, in your opinion?
I do not agree that, certainly not students, and I don't think that, I think that administrators have a tough job as it is, and that needs to be left to the professionals.
Exams and if necessary. This is a national program that Georgia has agreed up until this point to be a part of. And the superintendent says that these standards are clear and more focused to help students get the knowledge and skills needs to succeed in college and careers. And of course, the superintendent has come out with his backing there. That was in yesterday's report. Other than that, the bill passed today, which makes went before the Senate and was passed unanimously as far as the health of children, and it shows that the issue of their physical activities. So we're expecting more from that, and that was one of the overall issues of voices for Georgia's children. So we're staying on top of the issues there, and we'll be getting reports out on a weekly basis. It looks like they're going to go ahead and rush through the 40-day agenda that they're working on. And of course, the big concern there is what the federal government's going to do. The governor has set aside $25 million to do emergency activities in case the national legislature does not pass a budget by March 1st. So that could be better than 31% of the total Georgia budget with that federal funding. So, we're what's going to happen there till March the 1st. But I sent forward the information on the committee, and I've agreed to serve in that capacity. In April, we go to Macon to set the agenda, and then, of course, we work into the mid-year conference.
With several aspects that were not very favorable to GAE, to Page, and to several other speakers. There were about 8 speakers. GAE was represented, Page, there were several parents. There was another private entity from Savannah, and I didn't get the name, I asked you to call. But it appeared that the presentations at this point had to do with how well Representative Leslie's committee had addressed some of the concerns they brought initially. Perhaps the single most important one had to do with the fact that the local board will have authority to determine if these turnaround models or charter schools or newly innovative schools will be able to operate. The board gets, if a parent group or a teacher group brings petitions with 50% of the population of that school to the board, then a simple majority can make a decision as to approve or not to approve of a change. However, if 60% of the enrollment within that community brings that petition or that to the board, then it takes a 2/3 majority vote of the board, of the local board, to either vote it down or not. So that was debated quite a bit, because there was some concern that 60% represents a very large percentage of the population that won't change. And the final bill was not changed, however, and it was voted out of committee and it went to the full House for their vote. However, on your behalf, these were the statements that we made. We felt that the local board already has power to make determinations of change in schools. The parents and the teachers are already empowered to initiate and monitor change in schools, as are all citizens, through the electoral process. The district elects a school board member who responds to his or her constituencies throughout your term, and I know your phones ring frequently, so we feel that we already have that opportunity to voice concern. We put our position forward, and like I said, we appreciate the opportunity to learn a lot. Maybe next time we will be on the side that wins. But I do think the changes that were made where the local board has more authority will make this a little more palatable. Questions?
Again, Dr. Robinson and Dr. Ash, thank you for going at the last minute. We really appreciate you. But none of you have yet failed to report about some of these laws that they're trying to pass, that the way I see it is basically meant to dismantle the public education as we know it. You got a bunch of bright people sitting up there coming up with all kinds of things to hold staff accountable. And like I told one state representative, you can take a school, and I'm on my soapbox, I'm sorry, but you can take a school and make it a charter school, you can make it a turnaround model school, but at the end of the day, you still have the same students and the same parents. And if we're not getting the participation we need from parents, it's only so much we can do as educators. And they really need to quit beating you all up. They really do. But there are some bills out there that are just, to me, it took a rocket science to figure these out and to come up with these. And I encourage you to look as I get them. And if it's something I think we need to be proactive on, I send it to GAE. I'm also sending it to the Retired Teachers Association. 2 weeks ago, Dr. Ash and Dr. Bradshaw went up to speak on the parent empowerment bill, which is great. So whenever we have an opportunity to put our 2 cents in, if I get the word that night, I'm going to try to get someone down there to speak up, not only for our students, but for the staff as well that are working their hardest.